Prosecution ready to do their opening? Please approach.
Good evening. My name is Haley Holmrone.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry, Haley, and what?
HAILEYCULMONE.
And this is Georgia versus Barrett, B-A-R-R-E-T. Y'all put your names at the top, that'd be fantastic. And then mark either juror or judge. And then prosecution opening statement, she just introduced herself, Haley Holmrone.
You begin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. This is a case about the defendant, Barbara Allen Barrett. On the night of December 18th, 1988, Officer C.M. Cheney responded to a shooting at 2437 Ramlin Woods Drive. When he arrived to the scene, there was the defendant, Barbara Allen Barrett, who had locked herself in a bathroom and was repeating, she was crying and very upset, and she was repeating, "I didn't mean to hurt him." Also at the scene was the housekeeper, Lee Porter, and also the victim, John Walker Barrett. In this case, you will hear about how the defendant, Barbara Allen Barrett, fired 6 shots at the victim, John Walker Barrett. A total of 5 out of the 6 shots entered his body, one of them being the cause of death, a gunshot wound to the posterior cranium, which is located right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a case about love gone wrong. You see this in the letter that John Walker Barrett wrote to the woman he was having an affair with, who goes by the name of Tootsie. He wrote this letter 2 days before his death. In this letter, he stated, "Our marriage has been dead for a long time." The marriage he's referring to is the marriage between him and the defendant, Barbara Allen Barrett. The defendant will testify that her husband was abusive and beat her in cycles. She will also testify that on the night of December 18, 1988, it was only her, the housekeeper Lee Porter, and the victim John Walker Barrett at the house. The housekeeper Lee Porter has been working for the Barretts for 6 months, and he works between the hours of 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. He testified that he did not see any abuse towards the defendant, Barbara Allen Barrett, and every time that he encountered Mr. Barrett, he was always very polite to him. Officer C.M. Cheney was the officer who was dispatched to this location on the night of December 18th, and he testified that he obtained the witness statement, and he witnessed the defendant sign this statement. The defendant's psychiatrist, Ms. McGuire, testifies that she met with the defendant, Barbara Allen Barrett, 3 times, the first time being 2 weeks after the murder. She also testifies that at the time of the murder, the reality of circumstances were becoming clear to Barbara, and she saw her husband as he really was, a man who was capable of causing her serious injury, even death. The law requires the prosecution to prove murder beyond a reasonable doubt. Therefore, the prosecution represents a guilty verdict.
Is the defense going to do their opening at this point?
Yeah.